This is a case for the FBI. Don't we all love us some Kris Jenner? The ultimate, the original, the trademarked Momager. Yes. Kris Jenner, I think, should be everyone's hero. Okay, that was probably a bit much, but I do love Kris Jenner. So in honor of all of the Momagers, as well as all of the mothers out there on this upcoming Mother's Day, I thought I would do a very special Confessions of a Makeup Hoarder. So I, of course, have the Kris collection, the Momager collection that Kris Jenner did with her youngest and wealthiest daughter, Kylie Jenner, last year for Mother's Day. Whatever you think about the Kardashians, you have to admit that they are very smart, business-savvy women, and I love seeing a strong businesswoman succeeding in this world. I love that. And at the helm of this Kardashian empire, the matriarch, the Momager, Kris Jenner. I think Kris Jenner is very, very cool. I also think she's hilarious. I actually recently just saw an interview with her on Sunday morning talking about how she runs this empire, and it was it came out of necessity. They needed a way to make money, and she figured it out. She figured out how to survive and how to support her very large family. I mean, obviously, people are going to talk about how they didn't come from nothing, which is 100% true. But what they have built from where they started, you can't knock them. You can't knock the hustle because they hustle hard. And I think that deserves a lot of respect. I'll actually link that interview down below. I found it really fascinating. Anyways, putting that all aside, I am a makeup hoarder. I buy makeup and I never ever use it. I just buy it and have it and I love it, but I don't use it. So on my channel, I like to do these Confessions of a Makeup Hoarder where I actually put the makeup that I bought to use. So in honor of this upcoming Mother's Day, I thought let's pull out a collection that actually launched last year for Mother's Day. So I have the Kris Jenner and Kylie Cosmetics Momager collection. I've got everything from the Kris Jenner Momager collection that I'm finally going to use and put to the test and put on my face for the very first time. So if you want to see that, if you want to see this collection, which actually just recently restocked online, so if you want to pick up any of these things, you can now do that again. So if you want to see my thoughts on the Kris Jenner Momager collection, then keep watching because we're getting started right now. Okay, let's go ahead and just get started. I already went ahead and primed my eyelids. I used my MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot, so that's already done. And let's go ahead and just get started using the eyeshadow palette. So this here is the Kris collection eyeshadow palette. It's limited edition. It did, of course, come out last year, which is when I picked it up. But just recently, for Mother's Day this year, Kylie Cosmetics went ahead and re-released the eyeshadow palette in like a special limited edition kit that is exclusive to Ulta, the Momager collection. So in here, it actually contains the eyeshadow palette, which I already have from before, and then it has a velvet liquid lipstick in the shade Todd Kraines, which in the past was available. It might still be. Let me check on the Kylie website if it's still available, but it was available as a lip kit with the Todd Kraines velvet lipstick as well as a matching lip liner. The kit, of course, like I mentioned, is exclusive to Ulta. That comes with the palette as well as the lipstick, and this is $49, or on the Kylie Cosmetics website you can just buy the eyeshadow palette on its own and it is $42. The Kris eyeshadow palette, it's your secret weapon to create the perfect smoky eye. Each palette comes with 12 pressed eyeshadows that can be used together to recreate Kris's favorite looks or to customize your own. So we have I Love Myself, a matte soft cream, Gorgeous, satin golden brown, It's an Emergency, matte cool taupe, Very Nice, metallic black raspberry, Haters, metallic icy gold, Vodka Tonic, metallic cool rose, Payback's a Bee, matte soft dusty rose, Impressed, a satin deep warm plum, 10%, Satin Dusty Grape with Gold Pearl. I'm Watching You, Satin Deepened Slate with Silver Pearl. Talent Metallic Taupe with Silver Pearl. And Does It Come in Black? A matte black. So as you can tell from the palette, it is overall a very cool tone palette, which I actually kind of like. Personally, I don't really wear a ton of cool tone, but this is the Kris Jenner collection, and I don't know if I've ever really seen her in like a really bright, warm, burnt red, smoky eye. Like, that's just not her signature look. Like, this very much is the kinds of eyeshadow looks that you see Kris in very, very often. So I do like that because it stays true to like herself. Obviously, Kris is Kris my favorite of the Kardashian Jenner clan? I think she might be. I think Kris is my favorite. It used to be Khloe, but I think it's now Kris. So, I mean, I enjoy that the quotes are all things that she's said. It's very funny. I think she's hilarious. So I like this. But yeah, this is overall pretty fun. I'm glad to see that it is back in stock. It's cute. It's a cute palette. So let's go ahead, let me zoom in a little bit and then let's get started. So I am zoomed in slightly. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start by going into the shade Payback Sub B. That's kind of like a matte dusty rose kind of color. I was kind of trying to decide between Payback, this one here, and It's an Emergency, which is like more of a cool tone taupe. But for me personally, I do tend to like gravitate towards warmer tone shades, especially with my skin color. I think having a more warm tone color like in the crease is like that initial color that I'm laying down. I feel like it just kind of blends and looks a little better with my skin tone, so I think I'm going to go back into this Payback shade. So I'm taking this on just a pretty fluffy standard blending brush. This is a R35, in case you're interested. Oh, that's going down nicely. There's a lot of pigmentation right off the bat. I like that. You know, sometimes I feel like Kylie shadows are a little bit hit or miss. You know, there can be some that are really, really good and I like, and then there are others that are just kind of like, slightly lackluster. This one I think is one of the better ones. Pigmentation's there, blendability's there. I am now going to take a M433 blending brush and I'm going to go into the shade 10% and just use this to kind of deepen up the crease a little bit and still kind of add to that like rich plummy color. Ooh, this shade is very dusty. It does have like little bits of sparkle in it. I don't anticipate those staying on the eye. This is supposed to be a satin shade, but it doesn't, it just looks very dusty and powdery. Being very precise, I'm just tucking this shade right into my crease and then very, very carefully just rolling the brush back and forth between my fingers to kind of work the color in, not getting too out of control with it. There. I actually really like this. Like, this is blending pretty nicely. Like, I'm not having any issues right now. Everything is working pretty well. It's looking good. I like the color payoff. I know this collection got kind of mixed reviews when it came out last year, but I don't know, so far so good. I'm now going in with an angled brush and I'm going into the light cream shade called I Love Myself and using this to just highlight the brow bone and blend everything just a little bit more. I'm trying to decide now on the lid color. So I have three options. I think this is very nice. This kind of more taupey one called Impressed, and then the lightest shade called Vodka Tonic. I probably would personally go for this guy. This is very nice. I really love like a red eye, but I feel like this light color is a more Kris look. I mean, I just feel like the style of makeup that Kris normally, you know, gravitates toward is having, you know, a very light inner corner and then like a dark smoky eye. So I think I'm actually gonna go with a Vodka Tonic all over the lid. Oh, I like that. That's a pretty color. I'm now taking a flat packing brush. This is the Luxie 245. And just going back in with Vodka Tonic. Just to add a little extra depth of color and dimension to this look, I am of course going to go into the black shade called Does It Come in Black? And I'm going to use a very pointed little blending brush just to add this right on the outer corner. I'm just going to mix in a little bit of 10% into the Does It Come in Black shade, and then just drag this over the line between the dark outer corner and the light shimmery vodka tonic shade. So I went ahead and finished up the rest of my face. Let's go ahead and go back into this eyeshadow palette. I'm taking the same brush I used before and going into the Payback shade and using this just to start adding some color on the lower lash line. Now taking a flat definer brush, I'm going to use Does It Come in Black and just start stamping this on the lower lash line. Then taking the same brush that I used with 10% but not adding any extra color, I'm just going to blend out that black shade. I'm now taking a really tiny little detailed brush and going into the silver shade called Haters and using this to highlight the inner corner of the eye, as well as placing this under the brow bone. Last but certainly not least, I'm going to go ahead and take a black eyeliner, place this on the inner waterline as well as on the upper lash line, and then just throw on some mascara. So I am now done with my eyeshadow look. I feel like it's very Kris-esque. I actually really enjoyed this palette. I didn't anticipate liking this as much as I do, and this is, like I said, not my typical eyeshadow look. It's a lot more cool tone and like kind of toned down than I would normally do. I really cannot wait to do another look with this color, this very nice like shade. Look at that. Like that's really a really beautiful like cranberry red kind of color. I actually was kind of impressed with this palette, which I have to admit I had kind of low expectations going in. I thought, it's not going to be that great. I remember there were some less than flattering reviews on this palette when it came out last year. I think most notably, we can definitely look at Jaclyn Hill. Like her review of this collection was not overall very positive. So I kind of had like sort of mixed feelings, and I was like, yeah, I don't really know how, I don't know how this is going to work. Not really my colors, and I just didn't have high expectations. But I do have to say, my expectations were far exceeded by this palette. I actually really enjoyed it, and I didn't have any issues working with any of the shadows that I used. So I actually quite like this, and I think for the price, for $42 to get 12 shades, it's a pretty standard price for Kylie, and I think these shadows perform just as well as some of the other higher end. I think these shadows actually perform just as well as like some of the higher end palettes that I've used, so I would suggest this. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's move on to the other palette in this collection. I'm really excited about this guy. Oh, this is the Kris face palette. Look at that. I love how the sunglasses are like metallic. It's really, really cute. So this is the Kris face palette. It retails for $48. And in here, here's the inside. It's white. You can't really tell. It says Kylie on here, but over the top it says, "You're doing amazing, sweetie." I love all the quotes. I think they're great, and this is in like a glittery text. So then inside here we have 4 shades. We have kind of like 2 more blush type shades and then 2 highlight shades, but overall this is a very like peachy kind of pink toned palette. One of the shades, this guy here, this is Your Sister's Going to Jail. It's a lot more matte. And then this one, I Raised You on Mac and Cheese, is kind of a more of a glowy blush. The limited edition Kris Collection Pressed Powder Palette features 2 silky smooth highlighter shades, 1 pearlized blush, and 1 matte blush. Each pressed powder can be used to create your perfect customized glow. So the first shade is It's Snowing Pussy Willows. It's a soft pink champagne. Money Doesn't Grow on Trees is a soft warm peach. I Raised You on Mac and Cheese is a bright peach, and Your Sister's Going to Jail is a soft nectarine. I already have my bronzers on. I did use my Kylie bronzers. I really have been enjoying them since I tried them out recently. So I'm gonna just go ahead and take a blush brush, and I'm going to go into the matte blush, Your Sister's Going to Jail. This palette does have a very nice large size mirror. Let's see how it goes. Yes. As I kind of suspected or worried, This is a very dusty palette. There's quite a bit of kick up. But on my skin tone, I'm not getting a ton of color payoff from Your Sister's Going to Jail. Which is sad because that is my absolute favorite like name. So yeah, this cheek has the blush, this one doesn't. I don't see a difference. I'm really not seeing a lot of color payoff. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into I Raised You on Mac and Cheese. It's a little bit deeper. It's a more rich coral as opposed to Your Sister's Going to Jail, which is a very like kind of light peach color. So I'm hopeful that this is gonna have a little more color payoff. I'm not a big fan of shimmery blushes. Oh, but that does have color. I do kind of like that. That's not bad. That's really not bad. I kind of like that. It's subtle. It's a very subtle pink. I'm not noticing a ton of like shine or like sheen, shimmeriness to it, which is good because I don't like a shimmery blush. There's not a ton of color payoff, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I will now go ahead and use the highlighters. I think I'm probably going to end up layering both highlighters on both cheeks, but to start, I am going to go into It's Snowing Pussy Willows, which is the champagne shade, and I'm gonna put this on my left side. Oh, that's really light. Whoopsie doopsie. Wow. Okay, let's blend this in. That's very bright. I'm gonna take the blush brush and just kind of blend out that edge a little bit. I mean, it's pretty, it's light. It's not the most highlighty. I mean, it goes on just very light and white without being super shimmery. Okay, now I'm gonna go into Money Doesn't Grow on Trees. This shade also was very powdery. I'm not seeing a ton there. Oh yeah, it's definitely there. Okay, it's showing up. I like this one a lot better than I like It's Raining Pussy Willows. I don't know, I feel like this one just kind of complements my skin tone a little bit better. Alright, so here is Money Doesn't Grow on Trees. And this is It's Raining Pussy Willows. They're fine. These are okay. I'm now just gonna go ahead and put some more of Money Doesn't Grow on Trees on this other side. Mix them together. And a little bit of It's Snowing Pussy Willows. Oh, it's snowing? I think I said raining. It's currently raining here, so that's why I think I said raining. It's Snowing Pussy Willows. See, I like this on top of Money Doesn't Grow on Trees. It really adds like a nice bright like little pop right there, which I think is nice. Not bad. What do I think about this palette? First of all, I love the packaging. I think it's really nice. These are just not my favorite. I know since that they've come out with this palette, Kylie does have like she's re-released some new blushes, which I do really like. And I believe she has like a new highlighter formula, which I think is quite good. I mean, these feel really soft. They're just a bit light from my skin tone. And I don't notice a ton of difference between the two shades. I think it's more just a personal preference. It's not that it doesn't work. I just find that Money Doesn't Grow on Trees is a little bit brighter and more highlighty, if that makes sense, as opposed to the other highlight shade. It just kind of doesn't do so much. But I do think Kylie does have a newer highlight formula. Even if these were some of the like wet set pressed highlighters, which I love so much from Kylie, I think that'd be really nice to have one wet set one regular powder highlight. I don't like this Your Sister's Going to Jail blush. This could be a perfectly fine blush for someone of a lighter skin tone. It just did not show up on my skin tone at all. I mean, it's a barely there kind of blush, which if I'm doing a barely there kind of blush, like why am I bothering to put on blush in the first place, you know? I don't don't know. But this other one, I Raised Your Mac and Cheese. This shade is a lot better. There's a lot more color pigment. I think this could also be used as a highlighter for someone of a deeper skin tone. It's definitely not still a super pigmented blush, but I do like it. So basically I like this half of the palette as opposed to this guy. So for me, probably $48 for like these two shades is a bit steep, but I like the whole idea. I like the color selection for this palette, and of course I love the names, but I'm not gonna buy a whole palette just because shades have fun names. I think for me this would be a pass. This is probably the item I was most excited for in the collection, was definitely this palette, and I think I was let down by this the most, which is really unfortunate. So yeah. So that's it for the two palettes that were in this collection, but we know that this would not be a Kylie Cosmetics collection without a ton and a half of lip products. So I'm just gonna talk about them all together. So I first of all already mentioned the lip kit that was actually added later to the collection. This is the Todd Kraines lip kit. Yes, it's actually called Todd Kraines, which I love. I love that this is Todd Kraines. If you don't know, so I don't remember what season this is, but Scott Disick, you know, Courtney's baby daddy, he and Chloe are actually really good friends, and they like to prank Kris, and their pranks are excellent. So they would do this prank where Scott would like call Kris and be like, "Auntie Kris, it's me, Todd Kraines." And Kris got totally freaked out. She got so freaked out. She's like, there's this weird person who keeps getting my number and calling me and saying it's Todd Kraines. So the fact that they named a lipstick Todd Kraines, I think it's hilarious. So this is of course comes with the Velvet lipstick as well as the lip liner in the matching shade. I do like the Velvet formula. The Velvet formula doesn't dry down all the way. It still has a little bit of moisture to it. I find the Kylie formula of matte lipstick to be a little bit too drying for me. So I do enjoy the Velvet version. In the collection, we also have a cream lipstick as well as a matching lip liner. Now, this lipstick is actually the only thing from this collection that I've ever used. This is the Gimme a Kiss lipstick. It retails for $17. This is the one that I've used. It's actually a really nice, like, kind of pink shade. It looks kind of like a terracotta or so, you know, in the pictures or in person, but it's actually, on me, comes off very pink. They describe it as a warm rustic rose. So I think I'm kind of picking up on the warmness of it, but it does come off quite pink on me. This of course is $17, and I love the cream lipstick formula from Kylie. It's one of my favorites. I really, really do enjoy this lipstick. I found that the Kylie cream lipsticks are very pigmented, they're creamy, they're fairly long wearing for a lipstick that doesn't dry down completely matte. I still think they're pretty long wearing and the color stays nicely, so I really enjoy these. You can also get the lip liner separately that is, matches same color for $12. And then last but certainly not least, this is one of the items that was recently restocked in the collection. This is the Momager Mini Lip Kit. So in here you get a set of, so it slides out and it's a bunch of like the mini lipsticks. So in here you get 4 velvet lip colors, you get 3 glosses, as well as 1 matte lipstick. So I went ahead and swatched all of these so you can kind of see the colors. Let me show you those. We have That's Wild, a true red, Boss, a soft cherry, Middle Finger, a tangerine red, Overwhelmed, a deepened cool rosewood, Too Blessed, a warm pink rose, This Is Everything, a soft warm peach, Driving Me Crazy, a creamy pink, and Really? A creamy beige nude. So the Driving Me Crazy, Really, and This Is Everything shade, those are the 3 glosses, and then Boss is the matte liquid lipstick, and then the rest, of course, are the velvets. I really like some of the like richer, deeper colors from the Momager lip kit. Like for example, I really like Overwhelmed. It's this kind of like darker, kind of purpley color. It's a deepened rosewood. I really like that. Too Blessed, I think is really nice. It's a warm kind of pinky rose. I really, really enjoy those. But I feel like if you the colors you most normally associate with Kris Jenner. I think she wears a bright red lip, which I think it's nice. They included 3 red lips in the collection, so I do think that's like a Kris Jenner color. I feel like probably this is Wild, which is like, you know, the most true red. This guy here is maybe the most Kris Jenner-esque color. But since I did go kind of like purpley on the eyes, I don't know if a bright red and like a kind of slightly purple look is really gonna look so good. I think it might kind of clash. Yes, she does wear a bright red lipstick on occasion, but I think more often than not you see her in like a really true classic nude kind of color. So I think I am going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of mix and match, because I feel like Todd Kraines might be a little bit light on its own from my skin tone. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Give Me a Kiss lip liner, which is a little bit darker, a little bit more pink. Then I'm gonna go in with the Todd Kraines Velvet Liquid Lipstick and top it all off with the This Is Everything gloss. So I'm kind of using a sampling of all of the lip products. Well, okay, so that is it. That's my entire Kris collection look. I really have enjoyed this collection. As I say with like every Confessions of a Makeup Hoarder, I am so glad that I finally got to put this makeup to use. I was pleasantly surprised and really enjoyed it, and I know I will now get a lot more use out of it in the future. So if you liked this type of video, you want to keep seeing my confessions, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Lets me know you liked it. I will keep doing this. And if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure you do that. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every single time that I upload a new video. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, a very happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. I hope your day is fantastic. I will see you guys next time. Bye.